Lakshman, as we discussed.
Fine. So in today's session, we'll see the other approval options what we have in the just to test the P2P cycle. We define the approval rule where system will approve each and every document automatically. Now we'll just go through approvals based on the approval groups. The approval groups concept even we have in EBS also. When you set the approvals for requisition purchase order, we define the approval groups and we'll give the specification of amount and all. The similar approval group concept how we can implement here, we'll see that. To test that, just what setups we have to perform, we'll see. Say approval groups. Fine. So one is requisition, other one is purchase order. So purchase requisition, PO. Fine. Here what we'll do is we'll create two rules. Say for purchase requisition, we can just within the group approval group we can include one or multiple users or say employees whom the notification should be routed and who can approve. Here we'll go with a simple example. So if purchase requisition amount is same or less than $10,000, it has to be approved by approval group 1. Whom we want to include as a part of approval group, that we'll see. Other rule will define as if purchase requisition amount is more than $10,000. Okay, more than, here we taken as same or less than. Even amount is going to be same or less than, system will be routing the approvals notification to the group of group 1 people. And if it is more than 10,000, that means we'll specify this. Okay, here same or less than we are giving, so here more than we can specify this, then that would be routed to approval group 2. And to define this in the system, to set up this rule in the system, what we'll do is first we'll create approval. Before that, we'll create one more user. We have only one user now. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll include in the group 1 ERP3 user. For group 2, we can go with ERP3 1 user. We don't have ERP3 1 user. First we'll go and create that ERP3 1 user. Create new user called as ERP tree 1. After that, we'll create the two groups. Create approval group 1. Within this approval group, okay, just say approval group 1, and create one more approval group 2, and within the 1 will include ERP tree, and 2 will include ERP tree 1. Now we have to create the two rules. Okay, two rules we have to create. Create rule 1. The rule 1 is talks about this condition, and rule 2 okay, the same way we can set up for purchase order also. Instead of purchase requisition PO, okay, first we'll test this approval group based uh, definition, approval group based approval rule definition. After testing this, we'll test employee supervisory, and we have some other options also we'll go through. Fine. So first we'll go and create the one more user, so that we can create the two groups, and each group you can map one user. If not one user, you can group multiple users, but once we can do that definition, we can understand. Right. Create one more user called as ERP tree 1. We'll go and create employee user. Even you can if you create implementation user, that also will work. But if you want to perform any procurement related documents preparation, that you cannot do with the implementation user, that we know. So manage users. So create ERP tree 1.
Lakshman, just for clarification, we are not creating this from security console, right? Employee user, HCM, right?
Sorry?
This user we are not creating from security console, right? Employee user. We need to create from it.
Can we create from security console?
We can create that for the implementation consultant.
We cannot create. That's what we discussed. Okay. Employee user you cannot create from security console. Fine. So provide the name, login name. So we know very well how to create the employee user. Same process we are following. Just we need one more user. That's all. Okay. Then we create it. Say save and close. If you want to perform any doc transactions from this user, it's mandatory we have to assign the roles and we have to provision the access to those roles. But here we are creating this one more user to send the notification only. Okay, what we'll do is, after completing these setups, from ERP3 user we'll create purchase requisition. Here we define the rule same or less than 10,000. You may create the requisition with a 10 or less than 10 that can be approved by ERP3 user. Create purchase requisition maybe with a $5,000 and we can approve it. Means ERP3 user can approve it. After this, again we'll try to create one more requisition with more than the approval limit whatever ERP3 is going to have. That is maximum 10,000. If it's more than 10,000, that has to be routed to ERP3 1. Now here we'll create one more purchase requisition with $15,000. Then it goes to ERP3 1. Okay. Now ERP3 1 user will approve it. So when you create requisition with same or less than 10,000, that can be approved by ERP3 user. If it is a more than $10,000, that would be routed to ERP3 1 user. That is the reason we created ERP3 1 user. So the notification will go, ERP3 1 user is not going to create any documents, and that is the reason you no need to assign the roles, you no need to convert ERP3 1 user as a procurement agent also. So we are going to create the transactions from ERP3. ERP3 is a procurement agent as well as ERP3 has access to different documents preparation where we provisioned all those accesses at the time of procurement agent definition that already we have seen. Now here this is the purpose we are going to use ERP3 one user. So if ERP3 is going to create any purchase request of more than $10,000, the notification should goes to ERP3 one user. ERP3 one user will just approve it. If you want to create the documents from the ERP3 one user also, then you have to assign the procurement related roles. Before that, you have to convert ERP3 one user as a procurement agent also. Done. Fine, we created user and now we have to set the password. Okay. User creation time, if you can provide the valid email ID, then notification will come to your email, and from there you can just connect to that instance, and you'll get a reset password link to your email, and from there you can reset the password for the user, whatever the new user you are creating. Fine. Now go to security console to reset the password for ERP3 one user. So 1 second. We got many items within the navigator, so it is not directly showing. Yeah. So our username is ERP3 one. Go to actions, say reset password. Select manually change the password. Okay, when notification comes to this user, we have to log in, then we can just say approve. That's it. That is the purpose we are going to use this user. Done. Now we have a new user created. Now we'll go and create the approval group. So you can just do this task from the project or directly from the search page. From project or from search page, you can find this task. You can search for approval groups. These are approval groups for procurement. Click on approval groups. Okay. One second. It should display for approval groups for procurement. Let's try from the project. Go with this procurement path based approval groups. Click on go to task icon. So click on create approval groups. Here we can provide the name. Here Petri purchase requisition approval group 1. Okay. Or else you can specify this approval with this approval group what we are going to handle. With the first approval group we are going to set the limit of 10,000, or you can write whom you want to include within the approval group. Just we can write ERP3 purchase requisition approval group 1. You can include the members into this group. Click on add member. Click on search. Find our user. Search. So select ERP3 user. Say OK. So if you want to include other approval group into
all are should be employee users, right, Lakshman?
sorry,
All our users should be employee user, right? Whoever wants to approve this, perform this task.
no, you can go with the implementation user also. You can search and select here. Okay, in that case the user will get a note. User can perform the transactions but not related to procurement. If this user is going to work on payables application for payable invoice and all, they can perform the task, they can approve even procurement related approvals. If you want to allow this, I mean you want to approve those procurement related documents approvals, you want to allow implementation user to approve, yes, that is possible, but creation is not possible from the implementation user. You can select any user here. Okay, when you are ideally dealing with the procurement related approvals, we create employee user and will convert as a procurement agent. That's how the user will have a privileges to create. Just to approve, to get the notification to approve, any user can get and approve.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
And users list in our practice link, right, Lakshman? ERP tree is not showing. Is it true or?
That's a different instance. What
So
instance which you are using, that's a different.
okay.
Yeah.
So for reference, we would like to check the setups in ERP tree. That's what I'm trying. Okay, it is different instance.
Yeah.
We can't. Not possible, right? Then.
Yeah. Yes. 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 Fine. Okay, just I included one user into this approval group. If I want to include multiple, the same process, just add members into this group. Now, just for testing, we are going to have only one user as a part of this approval group. It's enough. Let's say save, and we'll create one more approval group as a group 2 to have other user as a part of that group. So just save it. After including the user into this group, save it, then click on create approval group. Provide the name ERP3 purchase requisition approval group 2. Click on add members, click on search. From here search for ERP3 1. Select into this group, save it. Okay, done. We created two approval groups. Now we'll go and create the approval rules. Okay, we'll go and create the approval rules. And when we deal with this purchase order approvals, for purchase order approvals also you can use the same groups what we created just now. Okay, but rules we have to create separately. You can use the same groups, that will work if you want to use. Done. Now the next task is rule definition. Rule 1 and rule 2. First we'll create the rule 1. Here we have a task called as manage requisition approvals. Click on go to task icon. Okay, so here let me just open another tab. Here directly we have a user interface, right? Manage requisition approvals. From here you can configure, which is a very simple user interface. The same how it would reflect in the BPM, that we'll see. What we are able to see here, the same how you can see in the BPM environment, but we don't need to define anything from the BPM since we have this option. When I talk about finance, take payables or general ledger, if you want to set approvals, we don't have this kind of user interface for payables or general ledger application approvals. That has to be done from the BPM environment only. So approval groups, just click on manage approval groups. And here from here only we created approval groups, right? Under this tab only we created those approval groups. You can see from in this list ERP3 approval groups. Fine. But similar to this workflow, this is manage requisition approval. This is a requisition approval. Within that, these are the different nodes. The same if you want to see from the BPM side, here go to task configuration. Okay, task configuration. These are the different workflow names. These are the different workflow names. Drag a little right here. There is big list. These are the different workflows. Search for requisition approvals. So this is a requisition approved workflow which we are able to see from the front end with this user interface. this manage requisition approvals, the same workflow. From here also you can see requisition approvals and go to assignees. It's the same workflow. So header preparer, header stage, header post approval. Okay. Post approval, header stage, and the first one is pre-approval. Same we have, right? See, header preparer, header, sorry, not preparer, pre-approval. Let's see, let me move this to next tab. So header preparer, header, sorry, header pre-approval. Here also header pre-approval. And within this, how many nodes you have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Here also you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So everything same, everything same. Okay. Now if you look at this, out of this manage requisition approvals, so all these nodes are there. Out of that, only one node is enabled. The same is reflecting here. Okay. So header post approval, parallel, consensus. Okay. This node is enabled. The same it is reflecting in the BPM also. Here, header, consensus. So you could see here, out of all these nodes, only one node is enabled. This is the node. Here we enable, right? The same is reflecting in BPM also. Okay, this is just reflecting here, and you can go and manage from here. However, you are just selecting here enabling. From here also you can just select any one of the node, and what you have to do is you have to go to advanced, scroll a little down, and here if you just say ignore participant, if you disable the checkbox, that would get enabled. Before that you have to get the permissions. You have to edit the task. From here you can do it, but this is very much required when you are dealing with the other approvals, finance related approvals. Otherwise we no need to navigate to this page also, not at all required. Everything we can manage from here only. That's how they given the simple user interface. Just for information I'm taking through that. So this would reflect in the BPM here. Okay, same as it is. Even for purchase order related workflow also, whatever we have seen with a similar interface, the same you can find in the BPM. Okay, so that's what we have to understand. Anyway, now we'll go on to define the rule. Whatever we discussed, we'll create that rule. So we'll go with the same node. Okay, we'll go with the same node. Select this node, click on edit rules. So here we created one rule. What that rule will do, if you create any requisition, okay, for this business unit, ERP3 US business unit, that would get approved automatically. Now we don't want to go with this rule. Okay, let's disable this rule. Already we tested, right? We created and we tested. You can disable this rule. Now we'll create new rule. Okay, so with this condition, so click on create. The previous rule will
we can create multiple rules, right? Instead
yeah.
of disable.
Yes, sir, you can create it. You can create it. You don't need. It's not mandatory. You have to disable it.
Okay.
Yeah. Because just we targeted specific BU here. That is the reason. I'm just disable it. But still, you can proceed with that, and it will allow multiple rules you can create. But those should not conflict. Just click on create.
You create multiple rules with different
Conditions.
values.
Yeah.
Condition.
Correct.
Then
you may create one rule saying that for purchase requisition, this is a condition is applicable, or say standard purchase order, this is a rule, and agreement, this is a rule, or else for so and so BU, this is a rule. So you can change the value, so you can create.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, which rule we want to create? This is the rule. If purchase requisition amount is same or less than $10,000. This is the rule name, and write the condition, add condition. So here, go to attribute. The attribute you can set. Earlier for auto approvals, we selected attribute as a requisition business unit. We specified if requisition business unit is equal to our BU, that has to be approved automatically. That's how we define. Now we can go with the same. If requisition BU is equal to our business unit, then that has to be approved by which approval group that you can specify, or else we can, instead of specifying the particular business group, you can directly go with the attribute called as requisition amount. Okay, we'll just go with this attribute requisition amount. Okay, so select operator. If requisition amount is equal to, say what we mentioned, 10,000. If requisition amount is equal to 10,000, we are not specifying particular BU here. Say okay. Okay, and now what would be the action? Click on add action and approvals required. Okay, approvals required, or else you may specify requisition amount is, sorry, I think we just discussed a different point. Click on edit. Operator is not equals, right here we discuss the point as same or less than. Let's select the same. If requisition amount is same or less than, this is what here they given the value as a less than or equal to. Same or less than, or less than or equal to, both are same, right? So less
What is the BU here?
sorry,
BU option. If at all we need to, if we want to assign BU, where will which field it is displays?
here only, instead of selecting the requisition amount, you can select if requisition, the what you could say is BU. If BU is equal to so and so, that one rule you have to create for that BU. If you want to have a amount condition, you can add one more condition here. Now we are adding one condition. You can add one more condition. Okay. First you may specify attribute as if requisition business unit is equal to ERP3 US business unit. That is one condition. And one more condition. So this is a condition you can write. Now we are ignoring the BU. With respect to BU, just we are writing this rule. Yeah, fine. This is what we have to select operator, less than or equal to, nothing but same or less than. So how much? 10,000. Say okay. Then what is the action? Add action. So earlier we selected as a automatic approval. Now we'll go with the approvals required and root usage, how you are going to approve. We have a different options. These are the different levels, supervisor and all. Now we are going with the approval group. So who can approve it? the people who are belongs to this ERP tree purchase equation AZ1 approval group 1, they can approve. Say okay. So we created one rule. You can save it. We'll create one more rule. The first rule we created for this limit, and we'll create one more rule. If amount is going to be more than $10,000, which approved group of people can approve it? Click on create.
Lakshman, very quick question.
Yeah, please.
What is the difference between this one and approval management engine?
No difference. No difference. Here we have a simple user interface. Here it is a complex.
Okay.
Yeah. So this sort of user interface we have for procurement only, purchasing. If we talk about finance modules and other modules, for all those applications we have to do directly from the BPM only, which is a little bit complex, where you have to get into that editing, etc. Slightly different and difficult.
I think you need to write PLSQL code, SQL code for
No.
AME, creating rules.
AME, yes, you can write. Since that is on-premise and all, you can write it here. If you want to do anything, you have to get a BPM expert.
Mm-hmm.
You need BPM expert. However, we used to get like the workflow developer in case of EVS. Okay, we are creating the one more rule. I think I didn't provide the description. Fine. So the other rule, one second. Yeah, fine. So add condition.
Also, can you give us examples why BPM expert is required writing instead of? I mean, we are creating multiple rules. Is there any
Enough, because in the fusion, whatever the rules, what are the attributes they given, these are more than enough. Still,
That's what we are.
Our custom requirement to drive this approval process.
Mhm.
Then we required BPM expert to build a custom workflow. Okay. Otherwise, not required. We have enough conditions. You take any workflow, we have enough conditions. Still,
Okay, but whereas in EVS we need to write some PLSQL code to define the rules and define the. Here not required, you mean to say?
Here not PL/SQL. Here the BPM expert will use BPL language, different language, BPL. Okay, you can develop new workflows within the BPM by using the BPL language.
Fine. Anyway,
Process execution language. Yeah, that's so what we call as next generation language.
anyway, we have enough workflows and rules.
Yes. This is more than enough. These are more than enough. You can write n number of conditions, and you have a different attributes, parameters which you can select to trigger the notifications. So more than enough. More than enough. Great flexibility they given.
Yeah, that's what we'd like to know.
Yeah.
Rather, creating multiple rules and
Ideally, not
learn.
required. If at all, if there is some complex business scenario demands, that has to be done by BPM expert. That's all.
Fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so the attribute is requisition amount. Based on requisition amount we are setting. So here what second condition says, amount is more than. So here operator you can select. If it is greater than, nothing but more than. So or else we given same or here more than we given, right? So better you can take as more than. Yes, we can go with a more than. Greater than.
That means based on attribute value and meaningful we are creating.
Yes, yes.
Uh, then you need to know the attributes first, values and how it looks like. Based on that, we can build the rules, right?
Yeah. First, if you see, it's all about this all related to your recreation related attributes only. What are the attributes? What are the key attributes? On what base you want to do? So ideally, when we are going to define the rule, definitely will come to know that will you can verify here directly.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. That- Okay, if it is a greater than, or if you want to specify, let's say greater than or equal to.
No, Lakshman,
Yeah.
you did less than or equal to already. Then the second
No,
condition
no,
need to
no.
be
First one is same or less than.
yeah. That means 10,000 means it will kick off the first one. Second one need to be
No,
greater
no.
than.
Yeah, no, no. See, I'll write it. You can judge this. Correct or not?
That's correct.
Yes, that's what I'm going to specify. Yeah. So that's see because we for our understanding I just written as a same or less than or more than etc. Okay. So here it's a more than only right. It's a same or more than here. So here just the values the presentation what they given accordingly we are just selecting again. Okay. Here I'll say same or less than. Here more than that would be fine. Same or more than. That's how you can take it. Done. Say okay. Then who can approve? If amount is so more than 10,000 ideally more than 10,000 means from 10,000 $1 to any amount who can approve that you can add that approved group here. So approvals required we are going to route these approvals through approval groups and you can select approval group called as 2.
In the group members may be multiple members, so
Yeah,
all members.
you can have that also we are going to test if you have multiple members in case of so parallel how it works in case of serial how it works we'll be testing. Okay, we'll
Okay.
include 2 3 members how it goes. Okay, in case of parallel how it works in case of sequence I mean to say it's in sequence how it works. Those scenarios also we will test so that we can understand. Yeah. Yeah. Say okay, now we included only one member. Okay, instead of one member directly also you can target specific person to route that notifications for approval. That also will be testing, but to understand how approval groups works, that's it. So we created 2 approval groups here. Then we have to say deploy. So deploy these rules. Done. Click on done. Okay. Now the same rules will apply for purchase document also. Click on go to task icon. Seems to somebody's enabled one more rule here. You can see here that I'm going to disable. You can keep as is, no issues, but I'm trying to keep active only what we are working on. So you can click on edit rule. Here only we created auto approval rule, right? So I want to disable it. So here also we'll create the 2 rules. We can use the same approval groups, okay? Because here also if you want to amount is same or less than 10,000, we want to allow this ERP to approve. If it is a more than 10,000, that should goes to ERP tree 1 user. So that ERP tree and ERP tree 1 we have as a part of this approval group 1 and approval group 2. But at the time of definition of these approval groups, we given the name specification as a approval group for purchase requisition, but the same we are going to use for purchase order also. There won't be an issue. Fine. The first rule. Click on create. Specify the condition. We'll see like going forward how to address the multiple conditions also here. We'll go through. For now, this one is enough as we planned. Here we'll go with the purchase order amount. So you can specify it's for standard purchase order or a document also. Okay. But now we are just going with the, it could be any document. Simply, yeah.
Lakshman question. We are creating rules for purchase requisitions and purchase orders, right?
Yes, exactly. Now we are creating for purchase order.
This navigation is the same, just I confused might be.
Oh, okay. See here. This is the one which we used for requisition approvals. Now we are using this task.
Got it.
Yeah. Fine. So this is the attribute we can use, document total amount. Okay, document total amount. What we want to specify, same or less than 10,000. Same means equal to or less than. This is the one you can use, same or less than 10,000. Say okay. Then who can approve? Add action. Select group 1. Okay. Within this group 1 we have only ERP tree. Done. Create one more rule. Click on create. The second rule is the purchase order amount is more than $10,001 we given. It's there as per rule we have same or more than, right? That will select. And to write the condition, click on add condition. Say document total. So more than, what you can do is select greater than or equal to, that means it could be equal to 1001, but 10,001 or it's more than, it is equivalent to 1. So 10,001 you can select. So already we given up to 10,000, so that's the reason we are giving 10,001 where same or more than. Say okay. Now you can specify the action. Who can take the action on this? Group 2 people can approve it. Say okay. This also you can submit for, just save and submit for deployment. So done. Okay, we created. Now we'll go and create the requisition from ERP tree user. The same you can test for purchase order also. Okay, we'll go and create the purchase requisition. Go to navigator. So purchase requisition. Go to more tasks. Say enter requisition line. Select item. So here we mention 5,000. Okay, we'll go with the 5,000. Already these negotiations are done on this. If any urgency you can specify the suggested buyer.
The Lexman urgent, if you say yes, what would happen here?
Nothing, just that is the information. Just information. Even if somebody is looking into this document, they can identify there is some urgency. Nothing else. Okay. Outside of the system, we can have a communication as it's urgent. Along with that, within the system also, we can address this attribute. Okay, you can tag in the document itself. It's a little bit urgent. That's all. Okay, we created one requisition line. Then say add to cart. Now you can click on that line. Click on review. Now if you click on manage approvals, before you submit for approvals, if you click on manage approval, system shows this requisition related approval request notification will be submitted to whom for approval. Just click on manage approvals, so that how that the workflow is going to route this to whom it is going to send for approval. That information you can see before you submit. So request number is 1001. So you can see that it's going to be triggered post approval. Yes, that's what that node only we specified. Within that, it's a parallel, but here it's only one person we have, and these are the specifications where we created that approval rule, and it is going to be submitted to ERP tree as per the rule. Is the right approval system identified, and below also you can see the same. So is the end approval, final approval. So directly, like, just who has system is verified the amount, and accordingly it is trying to route. Now you can submit from here or else cancel and submit. Click on submit. So requisition 1001 submitted. Say okay. Click on manage requisitions. Still it is showing as a pending approvals. You can refresh by clicking on search. It may take few seconds time to update it. Okay, so it's all about okay, notification, right? Okay, I'm just in case of auto approvals, it will be done. Now this we submitted, so you'll get a notification here. You'll get a notification. So auto approval means the system will approve it automatically. Since it's specified some person has to approve, you'll get a notification here. Just refresh this page. So now you can see within the notifications, action required. 1 second. go to this, click on this bell icon. So it doesn't matter who created this requisition, but so if amount is same or less than 10,000, ERP3 is the right approval. Okay, yep. So you can see action required for requisition number 1001. Okay, that is coming from this user. So this user, like ERP3, can open this requisition. Here it's a pop-up block is stopping. Okay, they can look into that information, all the details. These are different actions this approver can take. He can take, or else finally you can simply reject or approve. Say approve.
Lakman, we just mentioned that its auto approval is below 5,000, right?
So this is the rule we created.
Okay.
Yeah, we given
Yeah.
up to 10,000. ERP3 can approve it, but we created only with 5,000.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we'll go and create
But-
the requisition with.
Sorry, but what did you get the approval notification? If it is 5,000, it should be auto approved, right?
You see here. Try to understand the
Okay.
what I written. If purchase request amount is same or less, we never written the rule for auto approve, right? There is no rule. We didn't define.
Okay.
Only one rule we written, right? One rule
Okay.
for this
Yeah.
limit, and it's a more than 10,000 means this rule is applicable. There is no auto approval rule which we have as of now.
Okay.
Done. Now we'll just go and create one more requisition with more than that amount.
So Lakshman, just wait. I understand the rules that were created if it's a same or less than 10,000, then it should approve. It doesn't require approval, right?
Yes.
So wouldn't it?
It doesn't require approval. No, we didn't write like that. If you want to do that, you can write the rule. Then what you can do is in the condition you can in the action you can specify auto approve. If less than $5,000, that has to be approved by system automatically. That's how you can write. But here we written it has to be approved by so and so group of the people. That also you can set it up.
I got it.
Yep.
All right. Okay, I got it. Thank you. Mhm.
Yeah. Thanks. Fine. Okay. Now we'll see the second rule. We'll go and create the requisition with more than $10,000. Go to requisitions, purchase requisition. Say enter requisition line. Select item. Enter any amount. It should be more than $10,000. I'll enter what we discussed, the same better will enter. So 15,000, we'll go and enter 15,000 here. $15,000. So if you want to specify these details, you can specify, or else ignore it. So specify the buyer. Then now you can add this line to the cart. Add it, click on that same line. And just click on review or directly submit. If you go with the review, you will be able to check. Now just click on manage approvals. It shows this would be routed to whom. Who can approve? You can clearly see this requisition can be approved by not ERP3, ERP3 1 showing here. You can click on back, or directly from here also you can submit for approval. So below the same, it also shows. Okay, from here you can click on approve, submit to be submitted for approval. Now the notification will goes to I'm just opening in the different browser, not in the different tab, because only one login one user you can handle within one browser. ERP3 1 username, provide password. This user will get the notification. We didn't assign anything to this user. Reason, this user is not going to perform anything. So go to this notifications. So ERP3 1 got a notification saying action required for requisition 2. So, I mean 1002. Directly he can perform the action of approve or reject, or else to go through that requisition, the user can click on that subject and there is some pop-up blocker is stopping. You can say allow. Okay, it's more than $10,000, right? So say the ERP3 1 is approving. Done. Now go to the user who created this requisition and refresh this browser. You can see this user also will get the notification as the request is the purchase request as approved. 1 second, it's not opening. Yeah. So for our information notification, this user is getting. So the requisition 1002 approved. Now we'll create the purchase order. Okay, now we have it requisitions with 1001 and 1002, and we'll convert as a purchase orders and we'll check it. Go to navigator, just click on purchase orders task. So we have it 2 requisitions. The 2 requisitions information would be available within this purchase order dashboard or work area to convert as a purchase order. So you can see here requisition lines 2 requiring action. Requiring action means those are ready or say available to create as a to convert as a purchase orders. Go to task list, say process requisitions. Below you could see the requisition 1001 and 1002. Now first we'll convert 1001, which has 5,000 as a document amount. Now select and say add to document builder. Provide supplier details. ERP3 supplier 1. Say OK. You can just look into these details. If anything you want to change, you can say edit. You can modify. If no changes required, you can click on create. So done. Created. Purchase order number is 2. Okay, now here also you can verify before you submit this purchase order for approvals. You can just click on manage approval, so that system will show who is the, if you submit this purchase order for approval, it would be routed for whom for approval. That information you can see. So for purchase order also we completed rule definition. Just click on manage approvals.
So, Laxman, if we have a requisition is already approved and when you create a PO, then it doesn't should not go to approval again. How would you set that up?
No. See, these are two different documents, right? So if it doesn't require and all, these two you cannot connect. Two different documents. Maybe if requisition is approved and purchase order you don't require approval, then you set auto approval for purchase orders. Okay. You cannot build some condition between these two. If you are just requisition approval strictly you are following, you don't require for PO, you set auto approvals.
Right, but sometimes buyer has only up to certain amount of approval, right? So they
You can go with a condition based. Okay, you can set if purchase order amount is equal to this or same or less than so and so amount, then it has to be approved automatically. If it's a more than, it's approved required. So that sort of attribute specification you can do within the rule definition.
Okay.
Yeah, fine. So it's going to be routed to ERP tree for approval. Submit. Just reload. Okay, here you could say action is required. Say approve. Okay, then you can go and do verify the document. Orders in process. It should open. No issues. Go to task list. Manage orders. Order number is 2. Search. Status is open. It says approve. Open it. Right. And we'll convert other requisition also as a purchase order, and we'll see to whom that would be routed for approvals. Here is the line. From here directly you can click on this and you can process, or else go to task list, say process requisitions. Only one we have. Select same process, add to document builder, select supplier, say OK. Say create. So document number is 3. Then just click on manage approvals to preview that this would be routed to whom. So if you submit this purchase order for approval, this goes to ERP-Tree 1. You can submit. Now you just log into that user. Already we are with the same user login in the different browser, right? Let's wait for notification. Just check it. So not yet received. Okay, here we can see there is a notification for purchase order 3 and say ERP-Tree 1 is going to approve it. So approved. And this user also will get the notification as a forever information notification as the PO has approved. Okay, document that is purchase order 3 has been approved, which is created against requisition 1002. This is how we can just get the notifications. So it's a 725. So in tomorrow's session we'll see like how that parallel will work and sequence will work, and how we can route that approvals for supervisor, how to create employee supervisor, or else if anything you create that has to be submitted to specific person, some single approver, how to set it up. We'll go through those points, we'll discuss and we'll work on it. So any questions on today's session, please?